Quick and dirty video, ladies and gentlemen. This graphite company completed its first stage of diamond drilling at Aukam. Aukam is of course Gratomic's flagship graphite property located in Namibia, on which it is as we speak commissioning its graphite processing plant. And that news report, that is Gratomic actively slaving away at their biggest remaining risk. So in this video I'll explain to you what this risk actually is, how Gratomic is minimizing said risk, and I'll give you a super important range of dates for when we're expecting all these risks to be finally mitigated. The risk. Traditionally, for an exploration company aiming to become a full-fledged mining company, these companies would complete a series of public studies to de-risk the entire investment. Those studies are first an NI 43-101 mineral report to let the company and especially the public know just how much of a resource is actually in the ground. And of course a range of studies, starting with a pre-economic assessment and ending all the way at a full-fledged feasibility study. I have already done a video explaining the full range of these studies and their importance, so I highly recommend checking that video out. The link can be found right here as well as in the description. What is important to know is that Gratomic still doesn't have these public studies. And traditionally that is seen as extremely risky. After all, officially we know very little about the actual feasibility of the Aukam property. For all we know, constructing an actual graphite processing plant at Aukam might actually be a very small brain investment. Therefore, Gratomic might be a very small brain investment too. Of course, we're all big brained and we are able to do a bit of research. For example, pretty recently Gratomic told us that they have found the largest vein of graphite ever recorded at Aukam at about 2.77 meters wide. And just yesterday we heard that Gratomic drilled a total of 16 holes in their diamond drilling campaign, and you guessed it, all holes intercepted graphite veins. That is pretty insane, people. Either Gratomic's team is extremely capable in hitting these veins of graphite, there is a lot of graphite at Aukam, or the team is extremely lucky. Rationally, it might just be a combination of all three. So I am super confident there is a metric bleep ton of graphite located at Aukam. Now it should be kind of obvious what Gratomic is actually doing to de-risk this public study risk. They are creating the actual studies. For my favorite type of double D, or the most recent diamond drilling program at Aukam, Gratomic sent all their drill core samples to laboratories in Namibia and South Africa. Assay results are expected within 30 days, enabling the geological modeling of the drilled mineralization to be completed and quantified. Okay, so these results will tell us a lot about the first chunk of the Aukam property, but more drilling will still need to be completed. Like Gratomic stated, this will also enable new drill targets to be defined and pursued. For now, it is unclear whether Gratomic will release an uncompleted NI 43-101 mineral report with only the first drilling campaign at Aukam, or whether they will wait for a second round of double D and then release that resource estimation. Both are okay with me, since Armadillo, who is officially called Armando Verhate, but Armadillo sounds way cooler, told us in a pretty recent interview that that elusive resource estimation can be expected somewhere between September and the end of this year. He also told us that we can expect a feasibility study for the Aukam property before the end of this year as well. So those are the ranges of dates that you should be writing down. September to the end of this year for the resource estimation, and before the end of this year for the feasibility study at Aukam. When we finally get that resource estimation and that feasibility study, that is when the real fun begins. Scratch that. When we get the first revenues from actual graphite sales, yeah, that is when the real fun begins. Hopefully everything was clear, and if not, make sure to drop your questions down below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace.